Previously on Dirt Nights.
This thing went from being the fastest car in the country to being barely able to get out of our own way.
We're not gonna make it. Parts aren't showing up and things aren't going right.
Here's the 14 of John Tesh, 31 Corny Drips in tow.
After tonight, I'm done. It's gonna be a whole lot tougher doing it on our own, but they say a peace of mind is priceless, so that's kind of what I'm going on right now.
Some of America's road warriors on display. The 9 of Kenny Schrader now closing on the 10 of Laverne, Minnesota's Mike Steensma. That will be the battle for second and third. Trying to outdistance Mother Nature. Now caution out.
A soggy night in Elko, Minnesota comes to a close 8 laps short of completion. For John Tesh, the end of this race also marks the end of a 3-year relationship with Ramirez Motorsports and a return to the risky business of trying to run a competitive race program on his own.
Feels good to be home, wheeling into my folks' place here where my shop is, and I don't think I've ever done anything in my life without running it by my dad or getting advice. I guess what I'm saying is, you know, my dad's one of the first guys, or the first guy I'd ever go to advice for.
Sometimes you have to go through those little glitches to, you know, kind of fulfill your ultimate goal too, right?
His return to the track as a team owner and a driver means his first job has nothing to do with a wrench in a car, but a phone and his sponsors.
As of today, I'm kind of back doing some of this stuff on my own here. You know, I was pretty happy with that. That turned out to be a pretty decent run. What the going rate is on tires and wheels right now. I'll get you a little bigger sticker on the car if that helps. Shipping sucks.
This change won't be easy or cheap, but John won't be taking on the challenge alone.
What's up, Sponge? What's up today? Good, good.
Longtime friend and former crew chief Josh Sponge Hopteaser has offered to return to the road and reunite the old Tesh team.
I started out by washing cars, and it didn't matter if it needed to be washed or not. I was going to wash the car, and that's how I got my nickname as Sponge. It's been 3 years for me since I've been doing this, and I'm excited. Spent a lot of time together. We work pretty good as a team, so I'm pretty excited to go back and get back out there and see what we can do.
Got juice. Good old Spuddy.
While the Tesh team does have the old car to fall back on, the break from Ramirez Motorsports won't be complete.
Well, here comes our car.
Still going to race Leon's car. They're going to bring us a car and a motor, and we're gonna run their car. And you know, John's been very thankful for everything they've done for him. So we're, you know, very good car. So we're gonna stick with the same car. So.
You know, our friendship was real. Our friendship's still good to this day. I don't have a problem with John. John went out on his own. That's just John Tesh for you. He's somebody that's got to do it by himself. Sure, he likes the backing and the money and all that, but he's one of those guys that would rather do it by himself than have everything in the world, as long as he can do it himself.
Well, I guess we got a couple days till Fargo. Got a little work to do, boys. We'll get her.
The Tesh team isn't the only one with plenty of work to do before it can get on the racetrack.
Strictly nuts and bolts right now, just to finish up the stuff we needed on the car.
In Dysart, Iowa, the struggles and frustrations continue for Mike Spalding.
We right now are missing a seat, shocks, steering shaft, motor, 5.5-inch bolts, 5-inch, half-inch, I don't care.
In the last 6 years, he's overcome a battle with drug addiction and seen everything he owns, including his race car, destroyed by fire.
My family's cast back into just completely starting all over again. And it's hard. And the unsung hero of this whole thing is my wife, my kids. I mean, they've stuck by me. They know how much this racing means to me. My wife's still working full time while I'm just trying to work low, get enough money so I can come down to Corey's shop and get my race car built.
The long road back to the track has been anything but easy. And after 4 days of work, the new car isn't even close to done.
Find that bolt, bud? And then we're waiting all freaking day for freight that was supposed to show up yesterday. So yeah, I'm just a little bit frustrated today. Just, you know, when you're waiting on stuff, it just holds the whole process up.
It's obvious building a race car involves a lot more than bolting on 4 wheels and a motor. Speed on a 3/8 mile oval of dirt involves a precise science of weight, suspension, and horsepower. A combination many race fans feel is best represented in the modified.
Basically, an open wheel modified, it's a stock front stub. In other words, the front end of that car was once a real street car. 69 to 72 Chevelles, for instance, is one of the popular stubs that's used in the A-mod. From the back of that stub to the rear is all fabricated by all the different race shops, chassis builders.
The motor is deafening. When you wind up one of these, 650 to 700 horsepower motors, and you get them singing up over 8,000, it's deafening. And that just, you can feel the power through the car.
Based on horsepower to weight ratio, our A-mods are going to be quicker than a NASCAR.
The speeds that you can attain, if you get someplace like Belleville, Kansas, you're going 130, 140 mile an hour. It's insane how fast you can go.
And typically when you look at a NASCAR, they're very similar suspension-wise to a street car. We have a considerably more adjustment on a modified than NASCAR has on a NASCAR.
It's a psychological chess game. I think that's one of the most appealing things to me, is you're always trying to predict what the other cars are doing. Racing is a ton of math. The setup work that you do to try and get your car to go as fast as you can around the racetrack.
What is this track going to be like when I go out for my next race? And that's a science in itself. And that's where a good crew, watching that driver, can see what the car is doing, where the driver can come in and converse with his crew chief and work together to come up with the final setup for the last race.
If I have to listen to one more Cup guy bitch about his schedule when they've got $8 or $9 million in their bank account, come out here to the real world of racing, where you have to earn it, where you have to make enough money off of the purse to survive. Those guys just seem disconnected from their cars. They should just come walk in our shoes for a while and see what real racing is all about.
In West Fargo, North Dakota, 30 of the best modified speed merchants in the country have gathered at the Red River Valley Speedway, and John Tesh is among them. A reunited Tesh team has been hard at it in the Watertown shop, and they're ready for the ultimate test.
We're going to put a little more gear in it.
Going head-to-head with the best of the best.
I guess at this point in time, I'm wondering if we made too many changes, but I think we made the right ones. See if we can't get anything done. we got to make sure the J-bar ain't bent. I took a hell of a hit there. Started the race. One of them guys got a little sideways and come down off the wall, and I hit him with the right rear. I started 9th. I think I got 5th, so we'll be in a B main. That wasn't good enough, so make sure we don't have anything bent. Go out and try it again, I guess. The car looks like it's been to hell and back about 3 times. It's rough. It looks rough, all right.
B main number 2 is underway at the Red River Valley Speedway. John Tesh starts on the outside of row 1, but in less than 2 laps establishes dominance and pulls away from the field.
Yeah, I started outside the front row and won it. Second B, so that means we'll start 14th in the A. Lucky number 14, maybe. We'll see.
But to win tonight, Tesh will have to beat an elite field that includes a member of one of the most famous racing families in the world.
I can tell you right now, he is Mr. Excitement here tonight. Give it up for Herminator, Kenny Wallace out of Concord, North Carolina.
Kenny Wallace, with 27 NASCAR Sprint Cup top 10s, and Ken Schrader, a 25-year NASCAR veteran, start side by side in the row right in front of Tesh. Starting 14th, John has a ton of ground to cover to get to the front. His biggest battle is with the 36 car of Kenny Wallace. After getting by Wallace, John cruises towards the front, finally moving up 9 places to finish in 5th. Not far behind NASCAR veteran Ken Schrader, who wins his very first U.S. MTS feature in 36 tries.
I think earlier I said if we get a top 5, I'd be tickled, and we got a top 5, so pretty happy. The track got really, really rough. I beat the hell out of this car. Sometimes you just got to give it a little extra effort, and that's what we did. So it was a good run.
So, the return to the track on his own terms is a success. But the biggest test is still to come. Tomorrow's race is in Watertown, South Dakota. The Wizard is coming home, which is a place more important to John Tesh than perhaps any driver in the game. When Dirt Nights returns.
It's like old times out there.
After a rough but successful night in West Fargo, North Dakota, the Tesh racing team is back home, getting ready for the most important race of their comeback, in front of the hometown faithful, right here in Watertown, South Dakota.
I guess if I'm ever pressured to do good, I want to do good here, you know, but just gotta... Casino Speedway, hometown track.
Racing is only a part of John's job on this night. Hundreds of fans scramble to get an autograph from their hometown hero.
One left, who wants it?
And track officials auction a door panel from the 14 car for charity.
Juvenile diabetes fundraiser here. I got $600 for it for that charity, so I mean that's huge. Gonna help some kids out, and it's a good cause. Good thing we kept all those. I wish we could get that for them.
But with the best drivers in the game on hand, John finally has to turn his attention to the track.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Starting with a heat race that is loaded with talent, including fellow Dirt Knights Al Haina and Derek Ramirez. After starting fourth, John slowly works by Haina and Ramirez. Then, with just one lap to go, he's on the bumper of the 33Z, Zach Vanderbeek and leader Kelly Schreier. A second place finish at the wire, and that'll mean a free pass to the feature.
Wish I would have went to the top right away in 3 and 4. It's just like old times out there.
The US MTS works on a passing point system. In each heat, drivers are awarded a certain number of points for where they finish, and additional points for every car they pass. The 8 drivers with the most points from all heats combined automatically move into the feature and are in the redraw. Prior to the start of the feature race, those top 8 drivers draw for starting position.
I guess a 1 would be good.
Test number 7.
I'm always, I don't know, a little more nervous maybe for the hometown race. I've learned over the years that you can try a little too hard sometimes, and that kind of bit me this year.
Drawing number 7 means John will start at the inside of row 4, behind some of the hottest drivers on tour. But a hometown hero for making a charge right from the start. Just 2 laps in, he's right on the tail of Kelly Schreier in the 3 car. Then, trouble.
The top was really good at that point in the race, and I was entering 1 right up on the wall, and Kelly was doing the same. I was right behind him. I was real good all the way through the center, and I got right up beside, you know, pretty close to the side of him coming off the corner, but I either had to lift or I needed to get by him. I got up beside him just enough to where he tailed out just a tish coming out of the corner and knocked me up into the wall.
Hey, check the tie rod, something else is bent.
We're in damage control, trying to figure out what's wrong. In that case, it was the right front tire, and we bent a tie rod in the right front, so we had some massive toe in after that, but we just went out and raced it.
John is forced to restart at the very back of the field. But the Wizard of Watertown doesn't stay there long, picking off car after car on a quest for the leaders.
We had a lot of cars to pass. At that point, I wanted to recover as many spots as I could. You know, you pretty much know that, you know, we got an ill-handling car. We're not going to win this race, but let's get in the top 10 or let's shoot for a top 5 or something. I was pretty happy with our finish compared to how ill the car was.
In Watertown, it doesn't matter where John finishes. The post-race crowd around the Tesh trailer just wants a chance to meet its favorite driver.
How many number 1 fans do you have?
Me, I'm V1, the number 1 fan.
The Tesh team is officially back in the game and ready to take a solo shot at a national points championship. When Dirt Knights returns, the Knights invade Cresco, Iowa, with the hunt on the horizon.
Corey Drips trying to pull away.
A hot August afternoon in Cresco, Iowa. A dirt oval in a sea of corn. and the fastest modified drivers in the country.
Been on the road for 2 weeks. The body's getting a little rough.
Just 3 races remain before the hunt for a national points championship begins. The Road Warriors of the USMTS are on a desperate search for speed, and a few are trying to close out regional championships and claim the bonus hunt points that come with them. The United States Modified Touring Series is broken up into 5 regions with up to 12 races in each region. Drivers can compete in as many regions as they want, but points are accrued by individual region. This is the final event of the Farm Boy Barbecue Sauce Central States region. Dirt Knights driver Ryan Gustin is the current leader, but that lead is just 14 points over defending and 9-time national champion Kelly Shryock.
Well, you know, Kelly's a great race car driver. He's won more, you know, these series races than anybody. 14 points could be a matter of 1 position and some passing points if Kelly would happen to start deep in the field and pass 14 cars, and we started on the pole and won, you know, we possibly get beat.
When it comes to modified dirt track racing, few can match the record of the 3-car and Kelly Shryock of Fertile, Iowa. 9 times he's been the national champion, and in 2006 he set an amazing win streak record, winning 11 feature races in a row. There is no one at any track, on any night, the Dirt Knights drivers would rather beat.
There's guys that you race this long with, this hard with, you're going to have problems. You're going to have altercations on the racetrack.
Corey Drips, didn't really like the guy at first. I think he's over-aggressive. He's crashed me a couple times, cut a tire down on me. Of course, it was my fault, not his. I feel it was his fault, not mine. But I think we've all put stuff behind us.
But the bottom line is, for the success of our tour, you got to have all the travelers. You got to have the touring guys. So if Kelly Shryock needs our help to make it to the next race, we're going to help him, because it helps all of us. We need him there. It doesn't mean as much to me to win a race if he's not there to beat.
There's really not a whole lot of drama. There's a little bit, but you know, it'll be interesting. This hunt races get going here, and a little bit more money on the line.
You know, if I go someplace and win a race and I don't know anybody that's there, what did I accomplish? You know, yeah, I beat the guys that were there, but I didn't beat the best guys there are. And I feel the best guys in the world of dirt track racing our series, and that's why we're here. If I didn't think they were the best, I'd go race someplace else.
For Ryan Gustin, the goal may be to beat Kelly Shryock, but this could be the toughest place in the country to do it. In 11 USMTS races held on this track over the years, the 3-car has won 8 of them. Still, the hottest driver on tour this year is ready to face the most successful driver in USMTS history. And he'll get his chance right out of the gates, starting side by side with the 3 in the second row of Heat 1.
The Road Warriors of the USMTS, here we go, heat number 1, green flag is out. Kevin Pittman going to bolt off the outside of row number 1 to take the early lead. Zach Vanderbeek down the back straightaway with Shryock. Gustin and Mather in the top 5 as they go into turn number 3. Gustin going to try to wheel the inside of Shryock as they come out of 4, but it's going to be Pittman earlier. Zach Vanderbeek into 33Z, getting a little bit high out of corner number 2. That allows the 3-car at Kelly Shryock to try to close the gap. Gustin still in the 4th spot. Mather in the top 5 here in Heat 1. Down the backstretch into turn number 3, he is all by himself. He is going to get the white flag. This time from Ryan Staley, it's Kevin Pittman in the 26. We have the 11 of Ryan Peckham down here in turn number 4. Caution coming out. Leaders took the white flag, so we'll have a caution checkered finish. And your unofficial top 5 will be the 8-car Colt Mather finishing in the 5th spot. 4th to the 19R Brian Gustin. 3rd to the 3-car Kelly Shryock.
The first skirmish in the battle for a region title goes to Kelly Shryock, but the night is far from over.
He's going to have to beat us and beat us by a lot. Big night for us, kid.
We'll get her done.
That allows 2003 car at Kelly Shryock to try to close the gap. Gustin still in the 4th spot. Mather in the top 5 here in Heat 1.
The first heat in Cresco, Iowa is in the books, and round 1 of the fight for the Farm Boy Barbecue Sauce Central States region goes to Kelly Shryock.
Dirty old racetrack right now.
Started 3rd, run 4th, line was right on the cushion.
But Ryan Gustin and the Gressel team knows this war will be won in the feature.
We got to perform in the A, that's for sure. We can't have any mistakes, and we got to start at the tail and drive her up into a top 5, and we'll be right on perfect.
As the night wears on, it seems the track itself will be as big an obstacle as the other drivers.
The track's a muddy mess, so track position will be important. We'll try and beat the guy down to the corner, but if we don't, there's not a lot of cars. We're not going to push the issue. We'll just get in line, take up space, get qualified, and hopefully we redraw well.
It's been a roller coaster season for Corey Drips and the 31 team. After a long stretch of tough luck, he finally found some speed in Elko, Minnesota.
Well, on the race car, fellas.
And with the hunt looming, he needs to keep the momentum rolling, because for Corey Drips, what happens on the track goes way beyond winning or losing.
As Corey Drips trying to pull away here in the early stages of this one.
Pretty much eat, breathe, and sleep racing. My world revolves around it. When I'm not racing, I'm working in the shop, making my race car faster so I can win the next race. We may work 14, 18 hours a day, but it never feels like work. It's a passion that consumes you. You forget to eat, you forget to drink.
Sure, he's gone a lot, but that doesn't really change anything. Glad he can go out and run in a circle in the mud. It's just the best thing in the world to watch your dad doing what he loves to do and win a big shiny trophy in the end.
I would say that there's always a lonely aspect where needing more adult interaction. He calls every night after the races and talks to the kids if he can.
Racing is a fairly selfish sport. One's closest to them have to give up a lot to let you to race, especially at the national level that we do.
He'd do anything for anybody. He answers his phone 24/7 for anybody who needs help. That's one thing that I love about him, is that he's very passionate about what he does, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Building race cars is a heck of a lot of work, and it really doesn't pay very well at all. But there's a different sense of satisfaction that comes from winning when you build every piece on that car and then go out and beat the best guys in the country at what you do. I want to be one of those guys that's a guy that's 70 years old and still climbs into a race car. I'd love to move back down right where we started. The local dirt track's right down the road.
Corey Drips, Big Cock Chassis. Tell me about your run tonight at Jackson Speedway in the Big Half.
Closest thing to being a rock star you could be without being in a band. You bet, thanks.
Heat 2 in Cresco, Iowa is on the track, and the 31 of Corey Drips starts on the outside of row 1.
We are set and ready to fly as we come on a 4. Green flags in the air, and here we go. Corey Drips into 31 on the outside of row number 1. Here comes Nick Teal back to the inside to steal the lead on corner number 2. Mike Hansen and Shawshanks going door-to-door for the 3rd spot. Lucas Schott now into the top 5. Drips within about a car length and a half of the 55P as they charge down the back straightaway. Mr. Excitement now going to close in. Deal up over the cushion. Here comes Drips to the inside, side by side for the lead. Down into turn number 1 they go. Corey Drips on the inside, Nick Teal on the outside. Teal getting a run off the cushion at corner number 2. As you can see, Ryan Staley grasping for that white flag. We've got 1 lap to go here at New Vision Graphics, heat number 1. Down the back straightaway, Corey Drips once again trying to close in on Nick Teal as they go into turn number 3. Drips going to give her a run on the inside as they come out of 4. Slides up to the cushion. It'll be Nick Teal in the 55. Corey Drips second, Josh Hanks in third, Mike Hansen, and Mark Elliott.
A solid heat run for Drips, but far from perfect.
Yeah, tight. Not enough gear to pull out of it.
The only guy in the pits that seems satisfied with the track and his car is Al Haina.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a fun racetrack. Go in there and just hammer down around the corners.
The A-Train starts on the inside of row 2 in the third heat of the night.
Here we go, third and final heat race is brought to you by Schoenfeld Headers. Here's the green. Darren Walt's going to bolt off of row number 1. Takes the early lead. Schluter way up the racetrack in corner number 2. Brandon Hagen sitting in that second spot. Hayden, Meyer, Hilson in the top 5. Hagen getting a little bit loose. Hayden has to get on the binders. Tommy Meyer into 65. On the inside of Al Hayden. Now the Bixby Bullet up into the second spot. Hayden shuffled back to third. Hilson and Crone in the top 5. It is all Darren Walsh here in Schoenfeld Headers heat number 3. Here comes the white flag. 1 lap to go for the 5W. Down the back straightaway, turns 3 and 4. Let's sense the drop of the green. It is going to be the 5W. Darren Walsh winning heat number 3.
Kale wanted to chase out a little bit. I don't know if we need a little more J-bar.
The mad scramble to solve the equation of traction, horsepower, and track conditions is in full swing.
Let's do it. I'm feeling good about it. 125 in the lift bar or whatever we had in that hot lap section. The 200 back in it. Give me a half-inch of J-bar.
Hit the corner pretty hard.
The USMTS Central States Region title is on the line in Cresco, Iowa. And with only 14 points separating Ryan Gustin and Kelly Shryock, it all comes down to tonight's feature.
Pretty confident right now. It's kind of where we wanted to be.
Ryan will start in 11th, somewhere behind Shryock, who is in the redraw for the top 8 positions. But with the passing point system in place, that's just fine with the Reaper.
Originally I wanted to be 9th, 1 spot out of the redraw, but now we got opportunity for some passing points. And they get, like they're doing now, they're getting ready to blade the top side off there. If they do that, it should widen out, get pretty slick, and we'll run into the front.
Track conditions have been a concern all night, so officials are removing the loose top layer in hopes of creating a smoother, multi-lane racing surface for the feature.
Call him the A-Train, Al Hayden the 7.
If the track locks down or becomes a single lane, where you start could very well be where you finish. So tonight's redraw is key. Corey Drips turns this huge responsibility over to his son, Dakota.
Go draw 1, will you?
Number 31, we call him Mr. Excitement, Corey Drips.
Nice job, buddy. Give us some of that.
Number 1, 31's going to go from the pole.
So with a region title on the line,
big night for us, kid. Go out there and get her done.
They fire him up. Drips is on the pole. Al Hayna is 9th. The region points challenger Kelly Shryock starts 6th. And region points leader Ryan Gustin starts 11th.
It basically comes down to now, they got to do their jobs, and they got to hash it out on the racetrack, because there ain't no strategy to it anymore. It's the cars, the field is set, and it's time for them to, do what they do.
Here we go. Keep an eye on Ryan Staley as we come out of 3 and 4. Your USMTS modifieds coming to the green. Corey Drips in the 31 car, going to take the lead down the back straightaway with Pittman and Meyer close behind. Pittman now going to look to the inside as they go into turn number 3. Side by side up front as they come out of 4. Pittman and Drips. Corey Drips leads the field on the corner number 2. Down the back straightaway they go. Nick Fuel in the 4th spot. Josh Hanks in the top 5 with Shryock is outside of the 3. Trips way up on the top side. He leads lap number 2. Kelly Shryock in the 3 car now up into the top 5. As Corey Drips trying to pull away here in the early stages of this one. Drips extending his lead as they go into turn number 3. Still Pittman, Meyer, Teal, and Shryock in the top 5. Kelly Shryock in the 3 car now up into the 4 spot as he gets by the 55 and Nick Deal. Ryan Gustin on the move as well in the 19 are way up on the top side of the speedway. Ryan Gustin in the 19 already up, challenging for the 6th position as Drips still leads.
While Drips extends his lead, the battle for the Central States Region Points Championship heats up behind him. Kelly Shryock has the edge, but the Reaper, Ryan Gustin, is charging hard. Gustin just needs to stay with Shryock to lock up the points title. While back in front, Corey Drips continues to pull away.
Caution on the speedway as the 55D and Nick Deal stalled on the outside at corner number 2. And that is going to slow things down as we were rocking and rolling. Leaders working their way through lap traffic.
The yellow flag means the big lead Corey Drips has earned is now gone, and the best modified racers in the country will be glued to his bumper with just 10 laps to go.
Are you serious?
As Corey Drips trying to pull away here in the early stages of this one. Caution on the speedway as the 55D and Nick Deal stalled on the outside at corner number 2. And that is going to slow things down as we were rocking and rolling. Leaders working their way through lap traffic.
Caution is out on Cresco Speedway in Cresco, Iowa. Corey Drips leads the way, hoping to end a streak of tough luck. But with just 10 laps remaining, he'll have to hold off the defending national points champion and his old rival, Kelly Shryock.
Corey Drips, your leaders. He brings them into turns 3 and 4. Getting ready to start them up once again. Here we go. Look at that. Almost 3 wide for the lead as they went out at corner number 1. Shryock to the inside of Meyer as they race down the back straightaway to turn number 3. Drips up high. Meyer in the middle. Shryock on the bottom. Look at this battle for the lead on a 4. Drips has now got his hands full. Shryock on the inside. Meyer right there with him. Kelly Shryock now at the edge. Ryan Gustin trying to crack the top 5. Shryock on the bottom. Drips way up on the top side. Good one up front. Corey Drips on the outside. Kelly Shryock on the inside. You've got a dynamite battle going for the lead as they go into turn number 3. Tommy Meyer watching the action behind them. Ryan Gustin now up into the top 5. Top 3 cars running close. Shryock getting a good one off the bottom side. Drips on the top side as they go into turn number 3. Throw a blanket over him as they come out of 4. Shryock and Drips coming out of turn number 4. Down straightaway into turn number 3. Get ready, race fans. We've got 1 lap to go. Kelly Shryock on the inside, trips on the outside as they come at you on turn number 4. Down into turn number 1 they go. Shryock takes a look to the inside of Trip. Tommy Meyer right there with them down the back straightaway. Trips gets a little bit of run as they go into turn number 3. Shryock gonna give her a attempt on the bottom as they come out on turn number 4. Down the front stretch they come. It is Corey Grips. What a dandy of a main event you just saw here at the Cresco Speedway. The 19R of Ryan Gustin finishing in the 5th spot, 4th going to the 7 of Al Haina, 3rd to the 65 of Tommy Meyer, 2nd to the 3 car, Kelly Shryock. Woo! Boys! Woo! Where's my hat? Right here, baby. Woo! He's climbing out of the car. We got it, Mr. Excitement. Corey Grips out of Waterloo. Woo! There you go, race fans. Good job, man. Nice job. Ooh, nice job, buddy. Hell of a race. That doesn't do much better now. No, it doesn't. Woo!
You can't always win them all, but when you can run like that, that's what racing's all about right there. That's what racing's supposed to be, just like that.
Yeah.
It's been a long and painful stretch between the season-opening win in Allison, Iowa, and this August night in Cresco.
Oh, buddy. Fat kid like me will wear me out. I have to get in the gym.
Yes, we finished first. Now we get the big trophy.
But now there can be no doubt that Corey Grips and the 31 team are ready to make a run at a national title.
Big deal.
In the battle for the Farm Boy Barbecue Sauce Central States region, despite losing his brakes late in the race, Ryan Gustin wheeled the 19R to a 5th place finish. And even though Kelly Shryock came just a few feet short of a win, the Gressel team appears to have done enough to hang on to the region points title.
Hey, what's 5th have for points?
Don't matter.
Why?
You didn't scale. I said on the radio top 5, and I've already had 5 people jump me because you weren't sitting up there.
What?
I said top 5. Everybody heard it.
Are you serious?
What do we got?
After every feature race, the USMTS requires a handful of cars to cross the scale and go through inspection. Tonight, race director Todd Staley called for the top 5. Ryan Gustin finished 5th, but missed the call to scale. A mistake that will cost the Gressel team the Central States region title.
I said top 5 on radio.
We'll
I asked every one of them if I said it, and they all said yes.
Huh?
Did you hear me say top 5?
Yeah.
That's the problem with switching it every night.
I said top 5. I said it right at the race.
Why don't we just run it the same every
I've
night?
been running top 5 the last 5 nights.
You know what'll end up happening? End up costing us the hunt. I'd rather just not even run the hunt now.
Sounds
That's what I'd rather do. We just hit and miss. We'll go to the fall jamboree. We won't race the whole hunt because it ain't no sense in us doing it. If we're gonna get around like that.
It's kind of weird too because in his defense, you know, he usually calls the top 3, but lately he's been calling more than that. Well, if a battery will go dead or, you know, something would go, you know, possibly on the receiver, it could be a bad deal. So
I have half an hour to just load our and we'll head to the house.
Let's go.
So the night ends with celebration in one Dirt Nights hauler and disgust in another.
We're going home, dude. So we're gonna take all of our money cash right now, and we're going home because you're so wishy-washy, and you're making an example of us all the time. Yes, you are. We're going home, dude.
Next week on Dirt Nights.
As far as right now, we're going home.
With 2 more region titles theirs to lose, will the Gressel team put Cresco behind them and move on? Or quit and head back to Kansas?
We're doing too much winning when you win. They think we're cheap.
With the hunt on the horizon, It's decision time for everybody.